It's time for The Scraphouse with Austen Lane and Kasey Kuhrts on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Where did you go? What happened to you?
Sorry, man. I was turning on the Wi-Fi. Everybody be cool.
So you're just walking around with no Wi-Fi during the day? Like, what's going on there?
No, man. So what happened is like when I leave the Airbnb and I keep my Wi-Fi on, it connects to something else. And obviously it doesn't work. So it kind of messes up my whole process. So when I leave the Airbnb, I got to disconnect.
All right. Well, I appreciate you thinking about the greater good when you get back home in time for the scrap house and to put on some Wi-Fi. So, but you can't leave that walking around Wi-Fi on. You never know what you connect to. Next thing you know, they got all your information. So don't
exactly.
Definitely do not want that to happen. This is a scrap house.
Kasey, are you one of those types? Have you ever been on a plane and somebody sends you an airdrop out of nowhere?
I actually haven't, but I've wanted that moment to happen. Has that happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? Multiple times?
Oh yeah. No, just
once. But that's enough for an oh yeah. Yep. I feel you.
Well, here's the thing. So airdrop, I'm like, oh, what's this? Open it up. Yikes. Deleted it, and then like I got another airdrop on the same flight. I'm like, hey, fool me once, shame on me. Or shame on you. Fool me twice.
There you go.
Shame on me.
Nice.
There we go. Yeah.
Was there like a collective groan from other passengers that got the same airdrop as you, or was that just a you thing?
It's funny, man. So when I opened it, and obviously like I'm sitting next to like an older person.
Right.
And like, I kind of kept it under wraps, opened it. Thank God I had my headphones in so you couldn't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Saw the absolute filth on my cell phone. Kind of like threw it away. You kind of panic, even though it's just you. Yeah, so I was like, ah. And then I kind of scoured around to see if anybody else was going to take the bait, and nobody did from what I saw.
Man, known faller for the airdrop on the airplane, Austen Lane. How about it?
I mean,
got to be diligent.
I was excited, man. I never really got one before.
I would open it too just to see what it was.
Right?
Oh man, that's rough. Well, that's an experience for sure. Let's start with this before we do the actual wrestling stuff. That was actually almost the worst tease in the history of teases. I'll text you what I was going to say.
That's cool.
Because if I would have said that, I'm pretty sure we would have got canceled immediately. I'll text you what I was going to say there at the end of the show. But this weekend, Night of Champions, WWE, we will have predictions before we get out of here. But
are we still on?
At the moment, so that's what I was going to tell you. As of Wednesday morning, there's pictures of WWE setting up in Saudi Arabia. So it sounds like it's good to go, I guess. Are you surprised? Because I am.
I mean, dude, I'm surprised for a few reasons.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that CM Punk is, by all we know right now, taking part in this.
Yep.
I am surprised that, and I guess there's been a ceasefire now. We're not the biggest political show
we're not
on the networks, but from my understanding, there has been a ceasefire.
Saw that as well.
But yeah, I feel like airspace was a little sketchy the past couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say like Saudi Arabia is, Iran or anything, but like vicinity.
It's close-ish.
Like if for like this, Kasey, if I was a UFC fighter and I was slated to fight like in Saudi Arabia, I would be nervous as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider not going, honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean, like listen, again, not the most political show, but a couple of comments made by Iran, something about death to Americans. If I was, somebody that was going over there to compete, I'd be like, if I'm Cody Rhodes, I'm like, hold on. American.
The American Nightmare? Yeah.
It's tattooed right here. What do I do?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I mean, a little sketchy. I would like to believe that, Triple H and even people above Triple H in terms of this situation have unbelievable full confidence that everything will be okay. But, it's only okay till it's not, I guess, which is like a scary thought. Of
course, and listen, we're not privileged to know how much money they're going to make
off
this. I'm sure they're paying a lot of bills. They're keeping the lights on. But even with that, like, is it worth it? Like, is it worth
No.
just because
If
if
something
one
happens,
thing
absolutely
goes
not.
wrong,
Yeah.
if one thing goes wrong, that's like the biggest black eye you can ever have in wrestling.
I mean, depending on the scale of how wrong things go, it could be one of the
Yeah,
biggest black guys in the history of the world. So, like,
true.
yeah, it's a sketchy situation. And listen, we saw, just to jump ahead quickly, we'll go back to SmackDown, but you saw kind of randomly Dominic Mysterio be pulled out for medical reasons from his match in. Sorry, I forgot to go medical reasons. For his match with AJ Styles at Night of Champions, like. I'm not saying he's not hurt, but what I am saying is I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. Like, and you bring up CM Punk, John Cena. Like, we know Punk didn't really want to do that. And
He's spoken out against it, like, and
yeah.
this is a couple years ago, but in a very brash way.
So, like, let's say he changed his mind even a little bit, just enough to do it. Even after all this stuff, I feel like Punk's got to be like, I don't know, like this is a bit much. I'm surprised, man. I really am. I guess they're all getting paid out for it. Like, I hate to say that, but like, is that just how this is gonna go?
I mean, I guess everyone's got a price, Kasey. I mean, I would like to think that in that locker room, like, they have the opportunity to not go if they don't want to. Obviously, you probably don't get paid for that.
Sure.
But like, I think, you should have the option to opt out.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And the other crazy part of that is, like, you've got SmackDown the night before, which we'll get into. So, like, even if you're not on the card at Night of Champions, like, you probably have something to do with SmackDown. So, like, a lot of people are still going to be over there that aren't even on Night of Champions, just doing their daily work for SmackDown. So, it is
true.
It's interesting. It is. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, nothing major.
Yeah, but also, like, being a woman too, like, I feel like is another wrinkle. Like,
Yep.
because they can't wear like their gear.
Yeah.
They gotta do things a certain way. Like, so, like, it's one thing, okay, just came off of a ceasefire. But then it's another thing, like, dude, if I'm a woman, I'm also considering that.
Yep. Yeah, no, I thought about that.
Yes.
Thought about that. We'll get into that as we go along, because I do have a couple of point outs there that I would like to get into. But yeah, man, as of now, it looks like it's still going to happen. And it's, I mean, here's the thing, though. At this point, I hesitate to say this, but like, if you're CM Punk, it's kind of hard to pull out. Like, you can't, like, what, 72 hours? Like, you look like an all-world scumbag. I hate to say it, whether he's right or wrong. Like, it would be a bad look if the whole event doesn't pull, I'm saying. And CM Punk's like, hey, never mind. Like, if they rule him out on SmackDown without, like, anything, just like, oh, actually, when Punk went through the table last week, he actually broke his back. Like, they can't do that. I feel like it would be.
He was laying there for 20 minutes.
That's why he laid there for 20 minutes. Like, that would be a terrible look, I feel like. So
it would be a horrible look. I'm not sure, like, how Saudi Arabia would respond to that. Like, it's wild to me, Kasey, that he's still, like, one of the most, I feel like, well-weighted matches in a long time is taking place in Saudi Arabia. Like, this should be SummerSlam.
yeah, no, definitely.
Like,
Well,
you saw the promo, and we'll break it down in a little bit, but like, the promo kind of put John Cena back on the map.
Yeah.
You know why? Because CM Punk elevates the people around him.
Yeah.
And we're gonna waste it in Saudi Arabia, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you there. All right, let's get into it. SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't realize. I guess maybe this is just me. I didn't realize that the LA Knight Seth Rollins thing was such a big deal that we're gonna open the show. Like, I didn't realize LA Knight just getting cooked by, like, tsunami after tsunami and all that. I didn't realize that was a big enough deal to start the show with. But apparently they were right, because Grand Rapids, Michigan went absolutely ape when they saw LA Knight.
Kasey, I mean, we talked about this, I feel like, last week, and now it's almost like Groundhog's Day, but I'm gonna repeat myself. I can't believe how over the guy is.
I know. It's even more now than before, I think.
Yeah. I mean, good on him, right? Like, it's great story, finally getting his just due, but I thought after, the last title run like that was it, back to a mid card, back to just, having a couple catchphrases here or there. No, this dude is featured. He is starting out SmackDown.
And he was up there doing his thing. Obviously got a great reaction from the crowd. Enter Paul Heyman, who said, hey, bro, why don't you get out of Grand Rapids or you're going to get hurt? And LA Knight was like, nah, I'll fight you instead. I was like, this is goofy. And then to the surprise of literally no humans, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker come out to the defense of Paul Heyman and get the attack on LA Knight. I have this question. Why does Braun Breaker wear full suit and Bronson Reed wears t-shirt?
It's a great question. No idea.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
you almost want to say like, okay, they're their own individual,
but
like now's not the time to be an individual. Like
No.
now's the time to establish who your stable, who your group is. This is what the bloodline did. And then eventually you started to show off personalities and everyone kind of went their separate way. Like this whole, and do we know what are they calling themselves, Kasey?
I don't
Do
think we
have a
know.
name yet?
No, I don't think we know.
Okay, well, let's get a name first.
Yeah. Pure Fusion Collective, I heard's available. Just what I heard.
Pure Fusion Collective Take 2?
Part 2. Yeah, hopefully not.
But I don't know, man. Like, you have all the names in it to be a successful group. But I feel like they don't know if they want to be faces, heels. How much does Paul Heyman talk?
Yeah.
The whole Braun Breaker thing, which I texted you about this, where he's just barking at people.
We'll get to that here momentarily. Yeah, no, listen, I feel a lot of those same general emotions about what's going on here. And you know me, big fan of both of them. But they attack LA Knight and the most unpredictable segment of all time comes to a close. They go to break, and when they come out of break, boys are backstage, the same boys we just saw. They're, making their game plan. Byron Saxton's like, now's a good time. And then Braun Breaker, a human being, barks and hisses.
The ultimate way to start this off. A human being.
I just want to confirm, just in case anybody doesn't know what this show's about. Barks and hisses at another human being. You were distraught. You sent me a text with the video. Full disclosure, I was here. We had an Armada game, so I was producing. So I get this text, and the video hasn't loaded yet, and I'm like, oh no, what is going to happen? And then I watch it, and I'm like, what are we doing? And then I didn't pick up on the hissing. You text me back, you're like, he's hissing at him. I'm like, I put the phone up to my ear. I'm like, this is a mess.
Kasey, and I'm going to be honest, like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I don't think people really picked up on it like I did.
True.
Because, like, he's still over. People are still barking, and it's great. But this is supposed to be, like, the badass of all badasses.
Yeah.
Like, Brock Lesnar reincarnated.
Yeah.
And you have this guy for no reason, once again, a human being.
Yeah.
At Byron Saxton, by the way. You shouldn't feel threatened by Byron Saxton at all.
That's a good point.
But for some reason, you felt threatened. So you had to bark at him. And then you ended it with a... Why? Dude, if I was Byron Saxton, I would have broke right there. I would have started laughing. Like, what is this?
I'd have been like, no, I don't want to talk to y'all anymore. Never mind. Y'all are bums. So yeah, that was something. That was something that happened there. Paul Heyman, though, says they have a plan. And we see that sort of later in the night. First match is Asuka and Alexa Bliss for the Queen of the Ring semifinal. We've talked about many a time that Alexa Bliss, very over since returning. We talked about last week. Asuka, people are very excited to see her. Not sure what the staying power is there. And I was under the impression either could win. I think you could make sense of both of it. Although I think they did they made the right decision here. because I stand by what we said this whole time. Alexa don't need it. And clearly there's something else cooking there storyline-wise, and I think this is better for Asuka just returning to kind of get this push. So I've got no problem with her winning here.
No, without a doubt. You know what's crazy? And Wade Barrett mentioned this. I think it was Wade Barrett. You know the last time Alexa Bliss has been a champion, a singles champion?
Oh, it's probably been a long time.
And I assume he knows what he's talking about, or else he wouldn't have brought it up.
That's fair.
2018.
That's about right, to be honest, man.
That was before COVID. That's
significantly.
That was a different life back then.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because she probably had the tag belts in between there.
Of course, yeah.
But then she had obviously the story with Bray, so that, the championship didn't matter. She was gone for a long time. And by the way, no outlook on the horizon for her to be a singles champion, it appears, at this point in time. So that is wild. I can't believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked when Wade Barrett said that.
Yeah. I like the match. I'll tell you this. I like the Grand Rapids crowd, too, by the way. I thought the crowd was good for the majority of the night. I have one beef, which we'll get into. But a lot of chants. I thought both of them, for being out a long time, didn't look slow at all, in my opinion.
For sure.
I thought it was really quality.
No, I thought it was a great match. I feel like Alexa Bliss, despite the size, is always a great worker, and Asuka being out the game for a little bit is Asuka, man. Like she's very skilled, very talented. Yeah, I thought they worked well together.
And you're good with Asuka being the winner?
I am. Yeah, I think she needs a lot more. Right, this is kind of what we're seeing now. Like if a wrestler comes back after a long time, well, Alexa Bliss kind of did that too, but whatever.
Yeah.
But if a foreign wrestler comes back after a while or gets a new call up, yeah, they usually get a push.
For sure. So Asuka, and we do know her challenger, but at the time we did not. We'll get to that in a little bit. We then go backstage with Alexa Bliss pretty upset. She runs into Chelsea Green, and I was like, okay, this could be something here. As expected, Charlotte just around the corner. And they have a little bit of a conversation to continue to build that story, but ends up with Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green having a match. I was like, okay, I could get involved.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I could rock with something like this. We then go to a match that we didn't quite know about, but we see one half of Pretty Deadly in the ring, and I'm like,
yep,
okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. And then
Apollo Crews was booked.
I don't think Apollo Crews was booked.
Okay.
Got
it.
I just don't think that's what happened. I will say though, that is one hell of a decision to do one half of Pretty Deadly for no reason at all.
For no proper reason, no story. My tag team partner is hurt. Let me just go and knock some rust off.
For absolutely no reason. And like again, I firmly believe Apollo Crews was not busy. Like I believe he was sitting back. You know who else probably back there? Dragon Lee, right?
Dragon Lee.
Ludwig Kaiser probably back there as well.
Yep.
Anybody. They're like, hey, half of Pretty Deadly, the one that wears a shirt. Can you get out there? He's like, all right.
I'm gonna be honest because I'm bad. I don't even know his name, Kasey.
No, I have no idea.
Like I don't know their name. Like, I just know it was Pretty Deadly. I don't know their name.
No, I don't even think we got to the point where we found out guy's name because it was supposed to be Aleister Black. Yeah, rising up in the chair. Oh, by the way, and I can't stress this enough, him and Rusev. Does anybody care? Like if they weren't
Rusev's
there,
already kind of getting a little stale. I feel like, unfortunately.
If they weren't there, it would be totally fine.
Yeah.
Wild. But anyway, so Aleister Black is ready to, squash one half of Pretty Deadly. And out of nowhere, R-Truth, the bit continues, absolutely murders Pretty Deadly guy. Just kills him.
Which, first of all, okay, so the whole Aleister Black, Pretty Deadly thing made zero sense whatsoever. So,
None.
Okay.
Zero.
And then Ron Killings goes and murders the Pretty Deadly guy. I'm like, okay, is he a heel now? Like what? Kasey, it was a little chaotic. I had no idea what was going on.
Not a clue. Not even the first insight of a clue. Other than R-Truth is still pretty upset about how that played out. And apparently the other Pretty Deadly guy was nowhere to be found to help his tag team partner. That's what I established.
Still think he has his broken nose.
I've seen Chelsea Green wrestle 3 straight matches with a broken nose. Put a mask on, guy.
Great point.
R-Truth out there killing your teammate. Anyway. What happens then? Then you have Cody Rhodes randomly in Grand Rapids, plays the entrance, all the pyro, walks down, doesn't get a single word out, as Jey Uso then comes down. Whole lot of eating. Jay gets to talk. Cody about to get a word out. Here comes Sami Zayn. I'm like, damn, they're going to make Cody mad here. Sami Zayn makes his way to the ring, says his piece. Cody's like, all right, it's time for Cody. Randy Orton comes out. Okay. Down to the ring, Randy Orton says his piece, and Cody never gets to talk. But the point of that story is everyone very complimentary of each other, but at the end of the day, they all think they're going to beat each other. And I was like, poor Cody.
Poor Cody. A whole lot of filler.
Whole lot of filler.
Because obviously the entrances get
whole lot of filler. Should not be a 3-hour show.
Should not be a 3-hour show. And I always ask, I understand like you got to reiterate points sometimes, but did we learn anything new? Did this bring anything new to the table?
No. The only thing like
Not
you could really stretch would be this is another thing to make Cody mad when he eventually turns heel. Like they didn't let me talk. Yeah. They took advantage of me even after I had 17 fireworks. I don't know. I'm
supposed to be the quarterback.
Supposed to be the quarterback. He doesn't even talk. How am I going to call the play if they won't let me talk? Yeah, no, all that stuff. But anyway, that leads to obviously Sami Zayn and Randy Orton having a match that was quite entertaining. Back and forth, trying to hit a kick there, miss the RKO, power, just really good stuff. This is awesome chance, and
great match.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think we both said last week we thought Sami Zayn may win the tournament.
Well, no, I mean I would have liked to see him win it, but my whole thing was Randy Orton's the bigger star, Night of Champions.
That's right.
Yeah, but
we were hopeful.
I wanted Sami Zayn to win.
Yeah, he did not. He lost to Randy Orton.
Yes.
After a pretty gnarly RKO and 1, 2, 3. So Randy Orton, I want you to follow where I'm going here throughout the show. Randy Orton will go to Night of Champions. And by the way, this was mentioned multiple times by Randy himself and the broadcast team that the King of the Ring will compete at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
For one of the championships. Randy specifically said WWE Championship.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. But anyway, because we're going to connect some dots here.
We are.
Randy Orton gets the win there. We go to break. We come back. Nia Jax is out there. I'm like, what in the hell is going on overall? Nia Jax getting wadded out of the building. I'm like, this is not good.
Yep.
Tiffany Stratton comes out and says, hey there, old pal. If you want a match, we can do that. But we're going to do that next week as a last woman standing match. I do want to remind you that next week in this scenario is in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
So just to bring it all together, I'm a little surprised that we are booking a big time women's match when a lot of, this is foul to say, but I'm sorry, a lot of Tiffany's appeal is the way she looks. You're going to do this in Saudi Arabia. And by the way, sorry, at some point you're going to talk, I promise.
No, you're good.
I don't understand story-wise why Tiffany Stratton would ask for a last woman standing match against Nia Jax. Go ahead.
Yeah. So many things to break down here, Kasey. First of all, if you're the face, go ahead and say, I want to do it right now, tonight in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah.
And then the heel goes, they're not worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it, Saudi Arabia. I mean,
that would have been a line.
Which would have been the biggest cap of all time.
She never would have been allowed back in the country.
Oh, yeah. But nevertheless, then to make it at Night of Champions, to make it where it's just gonna be black bodysuit Tiffany taking on black bodysuit Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. So are we gonna go into the crowd?
No.
Okay, so then what is this gonna look like?
Good point. I didn't think about that part, but I can't imagine they would do that. That seems
Exactly.
dangerous.
Yeah, this is my point, Kasey. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, last woman standing match. Traditionally, when we see these matches, these go all around the arena.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're throwing tables in the mix, you're throwing people off balconies, whatever the case.
Priest
may be.
McIntyre, you get your head slammed on concrete.
Thank you. Well, what are you gonna do here? Just gonna have a wrestling match with a finisher, and then she can't get back up, and you cover her?
Yeah, you know what's? I never ever considered that part of it because I can't.
Oh, it's the first thing I thought of.
That's funny because it didn't even dawn on me, but I can't imagine a world where they let Tiffany get anywhere close to the fans in that scenario. Yeah, that's bad.
Or any wrestler, I feel like close to the fans.
Yeah, that's
With
bad.
all due respect to Saudi Arabia, I mean, great people, but like, listen.
Yeah, no,
Tensions are a little high.
Yeah. Oh,
So
man.
I don't know what this is going to look like.
Yeah, no. Listen, and then also, I think storyline wise, what the hell are we doing? If this was even in Charlotte, North Carolina, I'd be like, what are we doing? Collectively, like, what is the plan? Because,
Yeah.
and I saw some people tweeting about this, like, what has she done as the champion? Like,
Yeah.
she beat Charlotte, but like that doesn't feel like anybody cares about
what's
that.
Been the biggest feud? What's been? I gotta tune and check this out.
Yeah, but Charlotte was the biggest feud, but it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Like it's just
No.
not going well, and they keep coming back to the Nia Jax thing, and it's like you gotta stop.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like a Tiffany problem. I don't know. Like I don't know what the problem is, but like it has not been as good as we all wanted it to be, I think.
Yeah, and you got to wonder how long of a shelf life she has left as a champion. Because, and I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but you have somebody in, what is it now? It's Blake Monroe or whatever, who's essentially your clone.
Yeah.
Who people seem to be really drawn to now.
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm Tiffany Stratton, I need a feud. I need something to set myself apart to, like, I'm the champion for crying out loud.
So is there
it just seems kind of stale, unfortunately.
Is there a chance Nia Jax beats her? Because I think there might be.
I think there definitely is.
What a world we'd be in.
But then here's the thing, Kasey. If that's the case,
what are we doing?
Then they have to, do it back again for that SummerSlam.
Oh no, we can't do that. But what else is it gonna be? Like that's where I'm at. Like, what is it gonna? I don't know. All right, we'll have to move on or we'll run out of time. But yeah. Anyway, that segment ends, by the way, with Tiffany getting squashed and Naomi almost cashing in.
Yep.
And then Nia Jax pulls her off. Is like, you ain't cashing in. I got it. Triple threat at SummerSlam. It's going to be the three of them. That's what it's going to be.
By the way, fans super excited to see Naomi cash in. So I wonder if they're going to keep her with the heel thing or do they turn her face too? Because the fans seem like pretty excited.
I'm telling you, man, it's a good character. Like, I think you add the social stuff to it.
You're not wrong. You called it before I did.
Aha! I've been known.
Mm-hmm.
I've been known.
I've been known.
It was right around this time that this announcement came out. We were just talking about this. So this is exactly how I wrote this in my notes. Do you want to know a match they will not care about at all in Saudi Arabia?
Hit me with it.
I believe Selena Vega, Julia is that match.
Yeah.
And by the way, do you want to hammer the United States Championship part of the story home? You know what I mean? Maybe they should just wrestle.
Yeah, I hear you. And also, like, let me ask you this, Kasey.
Also, I didn't even know.
This is like a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Because, okay, Selena Vega wins, and then that makes Julia pretty weak, and you're trying to build her up.
Yeah.
Or Julia wins in Saudi Arabia. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's your situation. And by the way, I didn't even realize these two were mad at each other to that point. Like, I remember there was one backstage thing. I didn't realize these two were gonna like go for the title.
Yeah.
What did we set up there?
Yeah, I had no idea.
I don't know. What do I know?
Storytelling, Kasey.
What do I know? I know Chelsea Green is still continuing the bit of her championship story. Meanwhile, I got no story. Unbelievable.
Chelsea Green should just be like a producer while she's wrestling too. She
have to
needs to be like an MJ in Space Jam. She needs to do everything. She's got to be behind the scenes. She's got to wrestle, social media, give her everything.
Her character would be really excited about that too, because that's like her whole thing. Speaking of Chelsea Green, she wrestles against Charlotte Flair. And what I thought was pretty good. Like, I don't know what's going on with Charlotte, real life or promo and all that stuff wise. Now people feel about her, but I thought this was good. I thought last week was good. I think she's building on some stuff. I think Chelsea Green is pretty consistently always good. What a crazy finish though.
Piper
Niven almost like could have killed her. It was a great. Yeah.
I can only assume that this, like, the whole thing was okay. I'm gonna put her in the figure 8, and you break it up by any means necessary.
Yes, I agree with that.
Piper Niven's
why
you would do a running senton
any means necessary.
Bridging up on her knee. Oh, by the way, has a bad knee.
Yeah, bad knee.
Yikes! I was worried about that.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned live because I was like, "Holy crap, where did that come from?" I will say it was unexpected as all get out. Like I couldn't in a million years see that coming. And yeah, that I guess Charlotte is technically your winner there. After that happens, but so then obviously there's a little bit of beef between them. Alexa Bliss comes out to the aid of one Charlotte Flair. Hits Elbow Fire with, or was it Chelsea? I don't remember. But with his sister Abigail, nonetheless. I think it was Elbow Fire.
Chelsea. No, I think it was Elbow Fire.
Yeah, because I think Chelsea was out of the ring at that point. And goes for a little handshake, like, hey, you're welcome. Charlotte Flair blows her off. So, feels like we're still going in that direction for Evolution, I would guess. Yeah,
but let me ask you this, too. Think we're eventually going to see a Alexa Bliss Charlotte tag team?
Yes, I do. That was my thought. That was my thought when they did the backstage segment earlier. I was like, oh, this is where we're going. But then they did that, and I was like, okay, we're doing the match first, I think. But yes, that definitely clicked in my mind. But then, like, okay, let's say they do that. Again, I'm big on, like, it has to be realistic. How do they ever lose?
True, how do they ever lose? But my big question is, what's the gimmick here? Like, what's the play? What ties them together? They're just veterans?
Yeah, I guess. Nobody believed in them. I will say this, though. They are working on making Charlotte the most hated person of all time because they put her up against Tiffany, and now they're putting her up against Alexa. This girl has no chance ever.
No.
Brutal.
Get her against, like, Nia Jax or somebody.
I know. Like, do something for the girl. Dang. But,
get a dub here.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you saw this. Piper Niven tweeted out after the spot, like, later in the night. She said, it's like a whole big setup, and basically she's like, I'm terribly sorry, and then at the end she's like, I'm terribly sorry I didn't hurt her worse. I was like, all right.
There we go. Secret Hervis coming at you.
Mm-hmm. I still like the gimmick. So anyway, we'll see. All right.
Same.
So up to this point, Grand Rapids is cooking. I'm thinking they have a great crowd. The show, there's been some filler. Okay. My man Solo Sikoa comes out. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'll stop you where it hit me in real life. I was like, man, Money in the Bank, that was great when they did that moment. And heel turn, that was awesome. Then I was like, what did they say the next week? I forget. I'm thinking about it. And they run the package of 2 weeks ago at Money in the Bank. I'm like, oh, we haven't seen them?
We're still waiting for it to be addressed.
It hasn't happened. That's why I can't remember the biggest moment. Well, outside the R-Truth thing, but the second biggest moment of Money in the Bank, you haven't addressed it in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
What the hell? I didn't even realize, so I guess it worked, but like,
True.
I'm like, well, damn.
I completely forgot about it. I'm not gonna lie.
So Solo's out there doing his thing, and this is what really got me mad. Are we really in my man Solo?
Dude, this is the new thing in wrestling. I mean,
It's
it's not a
the
new thing,
worst.
obviously. It's been going on for a while, but I even feel like the people that are respected, the people that like are on like another tier, they're still getting wadded.
Charlotte?
Like Ron Killings got wadded
Oh,
when
yeah.
before he cut his dreads. Like
Yeah, you're right.
anybody's a victim for this.
That's fair. That's a good point. So I was really
Stupid,
upset
though.
about that Grand Rapids. I was like, you guys suck. I'm sorry. Jacob then comes out, gets in his face, says, I'm sick of you, but I will fight you for the title. Solo was like, cool. Jimmy Uso then comes out, take a shot at Solo. Then JC, otherwise known as Jeff Cobb, but definitely JC Mateo, comes out, takes a shot at Jacob. I believe Jacob stands tall here, but here's my question. Actually, this isn't a question. This is a statement. Maybe it's a question. I'm just going to say it. It's a question. I've just started it. I figured it out. Give me just one singular good reason why Solo Sikoa should not absolutely smash Jacob Fatu. I'm talking the squash of squashes. Give me one reason why he shouldn't.
Why he shouldn't?
Why Solo shouldn't win in 3 minutes.
Because Jacob Fatu has been booked as an absolute animal.
Nope.
But no, dude, I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you here because the outcome of this match and how it's presented is either going to build this whole bloodline thing or I think it destroys it. Like this is the opportunity now to reaffirm how important this storyline is. If you have Jacob Fatu come out there and squash Solo, then you might as well just write the whole storyline off. Let Solo do his own thing. Let the Tonga,
The boys.
let them go do their own thing when they come back, whenever. Like, I'm with you, Kasey. I think Solo's got to win this.
3 minute squash kills him. Because what's the point if not? Like, you had Solo be the tribal chief. No one really bought it, even though he pinned Roman Reigns. I liked it. I liked the character. You've had all this play out. And, like, if Jacob beats him, then what? Like, what does he do? Does he go be the third member of Pretty Deadly? Like, how do you come back from that?
Do you think Jimmy could take out Jacob?
I mean, maybe
Swerve,
that's the
a little bit of a
turn. Yeah, I mean, I guess potentially, but then like is it big enough?
Because here's the thing, Kasey.
I think he just has to beat him.
Yeah,
because
but I also think that there's got to be some kind of like shocking thing.
Is Roman coming
make us
back?
More invested. Say who?
Is Roman Reigns coming back?
Yeah, but is he going to be in line with this story, or is he going to go with the whole Cody?
I mean, if you're trying to do
Seth Rollins thing and Paul Heyman,
I don't know.
There's so many things going on, man.
This one just is goofy to me because I feel like you're setting Solo up for such failure, and like the crowd already doesn't believe the bit, the gimmick, and like I think he's good. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I will say this though, Kasey. In the past, when it's been the obvious, like, okay, we know what's going to happen. Usually, Triple H, pulls the rug from underneath this and pulls the 180.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how you get here because I don't think it's just going to be a legitimate win against Jacob Fatu. Like, I think there's going to be some sort of foul play, something.
Agreed, but it should be.
But like, if the Tongas just come back, like that'll be dumb.
Yes, not enough. Definitely not enough.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I don't like it one bit. LA Knight, Bronson Reed, as you would expect. Braun Breaker gets involved. That's a DQ. We move. Main event of the night.
Nice.
Ron Killings, Don't Carl Mar-Truth against John Cena. I kind of forgot this was happening.
Yeah.
John Cena comes out to a thunderous applause. Grand Rapids has never seen anything better than John Cena on the retirement tour, I believe. And then, in the most predictable of predictable, we got the exact same match that Cena's had every time. Cena goes to leave said match after 4 minutes. I really had no idea what was going to happen because, like, I was watching it in replay. So, like, at one point, when he was walking up the ramp, I clicked on it, and it had, like, 14 minutes left. And I was like, what is going to happen here? Because this thing's over.
Yeah.
And then a couple of title shots, low, the classics. So it's a DQ. And I'm like, they brought R-Truth back for that? Like, that was my first thought. But I didn't have time to finish really making that thought. Because then here comes CM Punk. Which then I was like, all right, we're definitely doing the Saudi Arabia thing because Punk's not getting out of that. Then there's a table with the damn Slim Jim logo, and I was like, all right.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. Punk goes through the table, and I'm like, all right, there's still 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then, truly, in my opinion, again with Cena, and we've been critical of the Cena thing, but for like the third time now, one of the most unexpected things happened. Bro went up there and cut, I'm not going to say the promo of promos, but bro went up there and did it. The exact copy of CM Punk's promo. What a world.
Yeah, so my mic's kind of going in and out here. Casey, can you hear me okay, or is it really crappy?
Let me try something real quick.
I can just come back in if you need me to.
Yeah, come back in. I'm going to... Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Come back out.
Yeah, do that. Definitely do that, because this is really the main part of what we're talking about here. But yeah, here's a shot. Good look at the Slim Jim table. Absolutely. Definitely needed. Endorsements on tables and probably chairs coming soon, and the ring apron, and all of that stuff involved. But yeah, this is, I'm telling you, and Austin will talk about it in a moment, the Cena thing has not been for everybody. There's been some good moments, but as we just said with the R-Truth match, there's been a lot of the same. A lot of the low blow, the shot with the title, and the match ends. And it just hasn't given you the warm and fuzzies. And I feel like people truly are excited to see John Cena. You saw that in Grand Rapids that night. People are going nuts, even when Cena's, doing that. But people are just excited to see the guy because he is the greatest of all time, and this will be the end for John Cena. And gets up there, and I didn't really know where this is going until he started. And to be honest, I did not remember fully in Punk's promo all those years ago that John Cena was the guy who basically gave him the stage, if you will. He mentions it here in his promo. But looking back on it, like, that was, you see John Cena obviously down, and Punk says, you have to sit here and listen to this. And then Punk then goes on and cuts probably the most legendary promo in the history of WWE. Well, John said, hold my beer. And we're going to do this, and we're going to do it my own way. And that's exactly what they did. A lot of people on Twitter have gone after the callbacks to everything that he said that mirrored what Punk said all of those years ago. There's a lot of them. You can look them up. Mentions in a part that got people obviously very excited, interested, however you want to look at it. Calls the cameraman over. Says, I'm breaking the fourth wall here. And that was a new one, something that I did not expect. And then goes on to name Claudio Castagnoli, otherwise known as Cesaro, when he was in WWE. Goes on to name Matt Cardona, obviously Zack Ryder, when he was in WWE. And Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, when he was in WWE. And obviously Matt Cardona, being the guy that he is, took that and ran with it all over social media, made T-shirts and whatnot. But truly two real back-to-back shock moments to do that. And to bring the cameraman up and kind of break the fourth wall. So just that in itself was wild. And that was early in the promo. You still had about 8 minutes of more that he just went after him. Hello there, friend.
What up, man? Yeah, once again, I've reported the issue many times. Hasn't been fixed, but it throws me into a different lobby. It says camera one. I don't have a camera one So it's in somebody else's ninja, but it is what it is, man. I'm glad to be back here, Kasey. Looks like I'm pretty fresh here too.
All right. Well, that's good stuff. Your thoughts on what happened and transpired here?
Yeah, real quick, because I know we're behind it a little bit now. This was crazy, and I knew exactly when CM Punk went through that table, although take the Slim Jim sticker off it, but nevertheless, I knew once CM Punk went through that table and John Cena started walking towards the ropes, I knew it was about to happen. Now, isn't it as good as the original?
No.
Absolutely not. Right? Because the original was more of just off the cuff, it was on the fly. But I think it did have enough of what would you call it? Just like shock value to help out John Cena here. You know, mentioning Matt Cardona.
Oh yeah.
Did he mention Vici?
I didn't hear Vici's name, unfortunately.
Well,
okay. Claudio Castagnoli and Nick Nemeth.
That's right. It was Claudio. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, dude, that was shocking.
Very shocking. And interesting too, because the crowd went crazy for it.
Yeah.
And even John Cena admitted to it, like, you know, you can hear the tone start to change.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess it's almost a blessing that it's taking place in Saudi Arabia, just because I feel like the crowd there is going to be so excited to see this match where there's not going to really be a heel or a face. But I feel like if you would have had this match in the States, that's almost what it's like now too. Because now we're starting to see John Cena get a pop again as a face.
Oh, definitely. I was saying that when you were reconnecting.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I mean, Grand Rapids was thrilled to see him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, here's the other thing though that goes back to this, and maybe when we look back on this whole John Cena thing, it will be, you know, better than maybe we're giving it credit for.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, here's the thing. He's right. Like, they're literally letting him go out there every week and talk the realest smack of all time. Like, you shouldn't be, you know, from the beginning, he called out wrestling fans. Like, he's done it weeks and weeks in a row, and he did it again. Like, calling people out about cheering for CM Punk, calling CM Punk basically what happened to his lying corpse, because, you know, can't get up from a table bump after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, part of me's like, I can't believe they're letting him do this, because he's like out there telling the truth. So maybe this will look back as something crazier, bigger than it is.
Yeah, but here's the dumb thing, Kasey. Like, you have one more face-to-face before the match with CM Punk and John Cena.
Yeah.
We could have been going back and forth for like a month with these guys on promos.
Yeah, that's the part that confuses me.
Like, when they had their feuds in the past, when it was CM Punk threatening to take the ball and go home and everything, like that lasted a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, this just feels like it's expedited, and it almost feels like it cheapens it a little bit, because these guys are that good. Give them time to breathe. Give them time to tell the story.
Yeah, agreed. And listen, we're at the point now with this, the whole thing, where the match is taking place. Like, they can't cheap out now. Like, this is a real match. Like, this isn't going to be an R-Truth shows up and kills him. I don't think. Like, I don't think either of them can pull out in this situation, because I think Saudi Arabia would be really mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tickets, I'm sure the ticket sales are fine, but like, I feel like they would not be thrilled for the product they're getting. So like, this is it.
That's what you got.
Unless, and I say unless, but if Punk were to beat him, then we would do it again. But like, I don't think Punk's gonna beat him. The bad news is we all know how it's going to end. He's going to hit him with a title and low blow, and he's going to cheat and 1, 2, 3, and like, it's going to be underwhelming. That's the problem with this whole thing.
Probably. Or is the face turn starting to happen? And I don't know, man.
Punk would certainly be an interesting guy to take it off of him. I will say that.
Yeah.
All right, that ends SmackDown in truly, really unbelievable fashion. We go to Raw. We're going to move super quick here. Some of the stuff we're barely going to... to the same thing I just said about Cena, though. They're letting Rollins do the same thing. Rollins opens the show and goes out there and says, you sing for me, you cheer for CM Punk, you do this, you do that, you bark like a dog, and then you don't know what you're doing, basically.
You guys don't know what you want.
Yeah. So he's basically doing the same thing Cena's doing, which is kind of interesting. I think it's eventually going to meet up.
Like, he doesn't need to do this.
Oh, he doesn't.
You need to establish, are you a face or are you heel? Is this group good or bad?
Yeah. I mean, I think I think if they keep going down this road, I think that just means that these two are going to meet up at some point, and maybe Seth is the one that beats Cena. I don't know. Braun Breaker with a win over Penta. Real quick, how about that spear?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Styles and Dom, which we heard about, will not happen. New Day versus the Judgment Day for the titles next week. What'd you think of Goldberg's interview with Michael Cole?
Intense. The more I think about it, the more it does make sense to do it with NBC. Right? Big name. I think if you want to draw more of the audience that hasn't maybe watched wrestling in a while, oh, Goldberg's still wrestling? Like, let's tune in. So it makes a lot of sense. It's just, dude, Gunther is such a physical specimen, and he's a very physical, powerful wrestler. I just don't know how long Goldberg's going to be able to hold up for.
At least, what'd you say last week? 4.5, at least 6 minutes.
5. No, I said the over-under's 5, Kasey.
I'm taking the at least 6. I think he's
Give
in
me the
there.
under.
We'll
Give me the under. Oh, and by the way, too, we should mention Pat McAfee gone again.
I'm guessing he just doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. That's my new guess.
Well, he announced on Twitter that he's overworked. He's doing too many things.
I mean, I believe that to be true, but he's never complained about it till right now.
True. Yeah, that's not a bad point.
So we'll see. Judgment Day goofing backstage. I wrote that down. Jade over Roxanne, and it will be Jade and Asuka for the Queen of the Ring Championship, and will, in theory, main event SummerSlam against either Tiffany or who's the other champ? Why can't Io Sky?
Io Sky, there you go.
I think they made the right decision.
Roxanne Perez once again.
She's good.
She's good.
She's
really good.
I think they did the right thing with Jade, though. Here, I think Jade is kind of ready for this moment.
I think so too, and I think it's definitely an intriguing matchup between Jade and Asuka.
Yeah. I will say it probably has the timing-wise potential to go bad because Asuka hasn't done it in a while, and Jade, there's still some of those questions. So I am worried about that. But I do think now that we're at this point, I think we were talking about with Tiffany, I think if Jade wins, it's clearly going to be Tiffany. I think if Asuka wins, it's clearly going to be Io Sky.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I think that does create some clarity. And then just judging by what we were talking about earlier, I think it'd make the most sense for it to be then Jade because you need something for Tiffany. But Jade is a face, so...
I hear you. Well, then maybe this is where you turn Tiffany heel then.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
We will find that out. Rusev and Sheamus face-to-face on the list of things people didn't care about at all. Gunther then cuts a very emotional promo after the Goldberg interview. That was great. Good for Gunther. This will be good for Gunther overall.
Black suit Gunther, yep. Classic Gunther.
There you go. Sammy...
actually, no, I'm sorry. He had a white t-shirt, didn't he?
Oh, he was in a white t-shirt. No, he was. You're right.
I wrote this down. White t-shirt Gunther. Sorry.
White t-shirt Gunther. A little bit different look. Angry white t-shirt.
Different, but as real as it gets, Kasey.
As real as it gets.
Real as it gets.
Good stuff. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross backstage. Unbelievable pop for Karrion Kross when he gets on TV.
Man.
And then we find out that Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross will have a match at Night of Champions. How about it for Karrion Kross? Good for you.
How about it? Is this the part where Sami Zayn popped him?
Yeah.
Punched him? Dude, I'm telling you, man, the character work of Karrion Kross. Because, okay, so Sami Zayn punches him. He's shocked. What's his girl's name? I'm sorry. Scarlett's like, oh, and then all of a sudden he starts laughing. Like it's all part of the plan. And here's what I'm curious of. I'm excited for this match because, is this going to be another one of those, psychological warfare matches like it was with AJ Styles, where it's just dude, he's jobbing to AJ Styles and smiling about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, man.
I'm excited.
Dude, Karrion Kross can't miss as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because also, I would tend to believe he's probably going to win unless they go some way like you're saying where it gets like he basically sacrificed himself like he did against AJ Styles.
Yeah.
We'll see. Good stuff. Becky Lynch, Bayley, Women's Intercontinental title. Things were going well, I thought, overall. I thought Becky was pulling the John Cena for a minute there, and Barry and Bayley, so she couldn't get up. I was like, all right, that sucks. And then out of nowhere, just what everybody was hoping for, Lyra Valkyria. Remembered it was would have been a DQ if she touched somebody the first time. Didn't remember the second time. Gets kicked and then just goes after Becky. Ends in a DQ. Becky retains.
Yeah.
Definitely a triple threat coming soon. This time I'm serious.
Love them.
Usually we can't just randomly fight each other, but apparently Adam Pearce is back, so we're doing that. Raquel and Rhea Ripley just fighting each other randomly. Roxanne Perez of the story here comes to save Raquel, and now looks like a story will be building there in something that I think we all could have saw coming. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso in your main event to go to the finals of King of the Ring. It was a good match. We don't have full time to go into it, but we got to get to the implications. Cody Rhodes wins.
Yes, one thing. Can you set matches up again? Like, that was a fantastic match. A+. How about some lead up?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
Little video or something. I'm with you. I hear you. So it'll be Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. So here's where I'm at. Assuming John Cena wins. Right.
Okay.
The winner of the King of the Ring will go to SummerSlam to take on what I believe will be John Cena. So what you're telling me is you either lied and it's not the final time for Randy Orton, John Cena, or the two biggest matches in the John Cena retirement tour are both going to be Cody Rhodes.
Feels like it.
That's a wild thing.
It's a great call, Kasey. It's a great pickup. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be Cody Rhodes again.
Isn't that something? I'm not necessarily mad at it, but like I'm kind of surprised because it doesn't make sense to be Randy.
No, not at all. And I think in terms of long-term storytelling, which sometimes Triple H is about, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason.
Yep, fair enough.
I mean, you're essentially going to finish it how it started.
Yeah.
He turned heel with Cody and The Rock and everything, and that's how it all started. And now you're going to finish it. Makes sense.
Wild stuff. Anyway, that's how Raw ends. All right, so real quick, Night of Champions. Here are the matches. We're on the same page, Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
I'm going Jade.
Man. Yeah, I think it's Jade's time too.
I'm going Cena.
I am going Cena as well, unless it's going to be some BS, something happens, but
hopefully not. Give me my dog Solo.
Yeah, I think Solo.
Gotta be, right?
If you want to save the bloodline, it's got to be Solo.
Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez in it. Oh, this is a street fight too.
How?
Oh, God.
I don't.
All right. I didn't even realize that. Now I remember her saying it, but.
Yeah, I completely spaced on that one.
Oh.
How? Okay.
All right. So Rhea Ripley, yeah?
Rhea, I guess. Yeah, sure.
But it doesn't make any sense for her to win.
No.
What is she
doing?
doing?
Casey, a street fight doesn't make much sense now, does it?
No. Maybe Raquel wins. I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense at all. You got like a whole evolution coming up. You could have just done it there. All right. And then Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross. I'm going Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I think I'm going Karrion Kross too.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
we're on the same page with everything. Crazy.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but.
Probably going to be shocked then. Can't be shocked and surprised. Cena's going to drop the title.
Oh, gosh. I don't like where Cena is on that card. Like the way that the card is, it's like middle left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't smell like a main event to me. So I think that
what's the main event?
I think it's going to be Cody and Orton. I think.
Okay, yeah.
I
You think The Rock makes an appearance in Saudi Arabia?
No.
Okay. Travis Scott for sure, though.
I think it's more likely. Maybe Roman Reigns.
Oh,
Where is bro?
I know, man.
I understand he was the champion for like 3,000 days in a row, but where are you? We need you. All right, we got to go. Scraphouse. Appreciate you, Austin. Talk to you next week.
Good to see you, man. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. See ya. We need you. All right, we got to go. Scraphouse. Appreciate you, Austin. Talk to you next week.
Good to see you, man. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. See ya.